Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most important traits that high impact executives can have, and that is being decisive. My name is Tom. I'm the founder of Vertical Motion, where we help mid-career professionals become executives. If that's interesting to you, in the description, there's a link to have a conversation with me, and we can make a decision on you moving forward in your career. Let's talk about how to be decisive as an executive. The very title executive indicates that you execute commands, you execute orders, you execute business, you make decisions, you are decisive. And so if you're somebody at the manager level and you're wondering why you're having a hard time getting to the executive level, take a look at your ability to make decisions. Are you a decisive person? Are you someone who decides and then goes 100% in one direction? Are you somebody who's willing to take as much data as you have available to you and go ahead and take a decision, even if you're not sure if that's the right decision to make in that moment? Executives have to be able to make decisions with little to sometimes no information. Honestly, sometimes we just guess. It's usually a well-informed guess based on intuition and other information that we have available, some insight. And sometimes we just kind of flip a coin and pick, because sometimes the decision isn't as important as the act of making the decision. So let me explain this. First of all, when you make a decision, you create motion, you create movement. So you've been looking at a problem for a long time through a lens, right? So you're looking at this problem and you're just staring at it, and the information's not changing. You just don't have enough information to make a good informed decision. So your choices are to decide to go one way, decide to go the other way, or stand still and wait. A lot of people will wait, but great executives will take a decision. They'll take the best informed decision that they can. And there's a lot of things that inform those decisions, right? But they'll make a decision and they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna go do this. So for example, let's say you have two technologies that you want to invest in. And technology one does this great thing, technology two does this other great thing. And they kind of help each other, but maybe not. And they're a little bit different. And like an investment in one does not help an investment in the other. You can only invest in one. So you have to choose which one to invest in. Which one do you choose if all things are equal? Well, either. I mean, in all truthfulness, you can base it on which you like more, which team will, benefit more from it. A whole bunch of things can come to mind when all things are being equal. So you choose to move because not moving is worse than moving in the wrong direction at all. And so how does that work? When you make a decision and you start moving down a path, if you choose to invest in this technology over here, then what happens is over time you learn something. You learn more about this technology. You learn about the feelings and the thoughts and the concerns that people have about not investing in that technology. You learn something about this and you learn something about this. By moving in one direction, you've given yourself more information than you had than by standing still. So when you make that investment, you now have more information. It can turn out that making this investment was the wrong choice. A great leader is also willing to stand up and say, I made a mistake. We need to go the other way. We're going to stop this and we're going to start this. A great leader is comfortable saying that because they're confident in their decision-making ability. They're confident in their team. They're confident in themselves, and they're confident in their understanding of the market. When leaders are forced to make decisions with little to no information, it puts them in a tough spot. But tough spots are where great executives excel. Take a difficult decision, move in one direction, learn something, and then if you can, go the other way as soon as you figure out you're going the wrong way. Or 50% of the time, you're going to choose the right path and be further down the road anyway. Any decision is better than no decision, even if it's a compromise or even if it's a partial decision. Now, what you don't want to do is choose both or neither or 50-50. Like, those are terrible decisions too. Those are the same as standing still. Now you've got energy going in two different directions, and you don't necessarily get the same effect of seeing new information show up for you that's leaning in one way or the other. When you make decisions, go ahead and choose a path and be willing to admit, as soon as you figured out that it's the wrong path, be willing to stand up and say, I made a bad decision. We're going to change direction. My bad. And that's okay. Because again, You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be authentic, and you have to be someone who's willing to say, I'm making decisions on the best information that I have, and I'm using my best judgment to make these decisions. There's another reason why people are sometimes indecisive, and this is actually what I really want to talk about right now. Sometimes we can't see past a decision that we've already made. When you have decided to do something, or you have decided to not do something, sometimes you stand there in this place of confusion and you think that you're being indecisive. What's really happening is you've already made a decision, but humans can't see past a decision that we don't understand. What I'm talking about is, let's say you've decided to quit your job, or go and apply for a new opportunity, or you've decided to invest in an executive career coach like me, or you've decided it's time for you to change your life entirely. You're ready to move to a new location, maybe change a relationship. You've made the decision already, but you haven't accepted the decision. And so you don't understand why you've made the decision. I find that sometimes when we're trying to make a decision that's a really big one, there's a very clear and obvious answer to us, like a full body feeling that this is the right thing to do. And sometimes that's still not enough for us to hear in our head, I'm making the right decision. The truth of the matter is that humans make decisions emotionally. Our decision-making engine is this little teeny tiny part of our brain called the amygdala. Now, we use this big rationalization engine that's wrapped around our animal brain to help us put logic to things, but we don't decide things logically. We make a decision emotionally and then justify that decision with logic, which is to say, you can rationalize anything you want. But at the end of the day, your decision is a human decision. It's an emotional decision that you've made on the inside. There's a really cool technique that I use to help people actually go all the way through with their decision and figure out exactly what they have decided. So if you're ever indecisive, what's really happening is you've decided to do something, but you're afraid to do it. So when you are in that state of mind and you're not sure, try this. What I like to do is I like to pick the choice that I know is not the choice that I want. And this also helps. You know right away what I'm talking about. When you've decided to do something, you're excited about something and you're going to do it, but you're indecisive. You haven't quite decided to do it. It's because you're afraid of it. So pick one of the two choices. You go left or you go right. You go one, you go two, you go A, you go B. You do the thing, you don't do the thing, right? You invest, you don't invest. Whatever it is, pick one. Pick the one that kind of feels not so great if you wind up doing it. What I find is that if you pick that decision and you just imagine, okay, well, I've decided now I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. Or I've decided I'm not going to invest in myself. I'm not going to change my job. I'm just going to stay here in this job the way it is right now. This is the right thing to do, is to stay put. When you sit with that feeling, one of two feelings will come up for you. One feeling is relief, and the other feeling is anxiety. If you feel anxiety, that is the wrong choice. If you feel relief, that is the right choice. Think about a decision. So for example, let's say that you're thinking about really following through on your executive career. You're ready to take the next step from the manager level or junior director or high-level individual contributor, and you're ready to take the step into the executive ranks. And you've watched some of my content and you're sitting there thinking, all right, I think I might want to invest in myself and take this program and become a VP. But then you just hesitate. What is that hesitation? It's not indecisiveness, it's fear, it's concern. And so once you take a moment and think about that, think to yourself, okay, I'm not going to invest in this coaching program. If you feel relief, then the right decision is not to invest in that program, because for whatever reason, your body is telling you like, I'm not ready for this. This isn't comfortable. I don't like this. If you feel anxiety, then that's telling you that the right thing to do is to invest, because the anxiety is telling you, oh my God, I'm not solving my problem. I'm still stuck here. Nothing's changing. I can't fix this because I've chosen not to. So get comfortable with like understanding these feelings and these emotions. They'll help you become a more decisive leader and a more decisive executive. Decision making is one of the most important skills that you can develop as you move into your executive career. Now, at the Executive Career Accelerator, this is one of the things that we work on. We work on being decisive. And it starts at the very beginning. When I work with you in a discovery call, we go through a lot of, conversation and questions about what is the right future for you? What do you need? Where are you in your career, and how can you move forward? And there comes a point where you have to decide, are you ready to take the next step or not? There's usually 3 answers to this question that I get. One is like, hell yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's jump in. And you join a great cohort of people that are already in the program having a lot of success. 2 is, I'm not ready. This just isn't right for me. The timing isn't right. This isn't the way that I was thinking I would move forward. And that's fine. Great. Let's stay friends. Let's stay connected. If I can help you, I'm glad to. And I appreciate you being decisive. The third kind is, well, maybe this month, maybe next month. I don't know. Like I'm not sure if this is the right thing. I need to think about it. I got to talk with my spouse. I got to look at my finances. I don't know what my calendar is like. Who do you think I enjoy working with? Who do you think I prefer to work with in this situation? I like to work with people who are decisive because I can see leadership potential in decisive people. People who are indecisive, I have to work with them to teach them decision-making capabilities. And it takes longer for them to absorb and understand the material that's in the program. If you're indecisive, please give this video a watch again and think about how you can become decisive. Make a decision for yourself. The more decisive you are, the more confident in yourself you will be. The more confident in yourself you are, the more executive presence that you put out. And the more executive presence you have, the easier it is to lead teams into the future for your organization. That's what I have for you today. I hope this was helpful. I will see you in the next one.